Spirit senses tingling. Everybody should have used today to relax and get grounded and chill out. Today was the day of like um astral traveling. What I mean by relaxing, meditating. Astral travel at the same time. Go within. And whenever you do this in terms of astral traveling, going within yourself, you'll fall through so many dimensions, so many levels of reality, so many different levels of reality, so many different dimensions. Um, it'll cause you to look and just see the world completely different in terms of your envisionment of reality and just everything. And you'll be able to see all of the matrices that we are lost within in terms of our thinking in our mind, and our matrix being our mind and our way of thinking and our sense of reality. And then once you do that, this is where you reach the core, which would be what we call the tree of life, which is technically ourselves. Um, and once you go deep within yourself, you'll be able to actually, like I said, be Neo in the Matrix and see the fact of the different realities of yourself and the many envisionments of yourself. And so you'll be able to understand and understand how we as individuals come up with certain decisions and make certain decisions within life. Then you'll be able to look at all of our textbooks and all of our words and verbiage, and you'll be able to understand and understand everything in terms of the true meaning whenever you're vibrating off the love chakra, whenever you're vibrating off of your heart. This will be situations like, say, for instance, whenever we're vibrating off the love chakra. This is why whenever it comes to comedy and shit like that, we can't take it any type of way. All we can do is just look at it from the outside and just see what the fuck, the energy is. And this is how we connect through energy and stop putting so much into it, emphasis on the words, and we connect to the energy of individuals. So this is how we energetically connect with each other. So this is how you end up becoming popular comedian, doctor, all of that. So it's like weird because it's like back in the day we called this so-called like witchcraft and shit like this, in terms of us going within ourselves and being able to understand our reality that we're living in, and understanding ourself, our true self, and being aware of other spirits, which is ourself, in reincarnated form. And with everything that's going on now and the way that the earth has went about this rebirth process, it's one of those situations to where it's like we're starting to, this is like really the perfect time for you to find love in relationships, and being able to see yourself again, just in a different form, just in man and woman again. um but like I said, grandma says y'all got a little bit lost, child, and just started, what I'm saying, doing all types of stuff. All right. So this is where some of y'all got a little bit lost at and started, the confusion in terms of gathering and the polygamy and all this other stuff. You can go back to those starting points, use those as a starting point for us to understand like Adam and Eve type concept in terms of how we came about and growing as a population. And then at the same time, this is also helping you to understand the concept of you actually seeing yourself as a female or as a male. So this is how you can understand that starting point in terms of confusion. So this is how you can understand all biblical points in terms of you being angel, demon, all like, once you break all that shit down, then you'll be able to be in the matrix, within the matrix, but not in the matrix. You think it'll be on a higher level than others that are stuck within all the many matrices that's going on. I don't know. I think we have a lot of concepts, we just use so many words and verbiages. We just added so much concepts to everything. based upon us always wanting to be accurate or be right, or trying to lower one's level of consciousness. I think that's where it came from. We all wanted to lower one's level of consciousness, so we all come up with all these words and verbiage and concepts for us to try and understand and understand ourselves. But then we get stuck within our ego, so we get very egotistical with us trying to understand these concepts. And this is how you end up creating a name for yourself, which isn't really creating a name for yourself. It's just the fact that you use all the knowledge that you have accumulated to come up with a name, which would be our influencer name in terms of like social media and shit like that. So you created like your own type of character. So in an aspect, we're all not really living in our own level of reality. We're still kind of like living behind a character, but then also living within ourselves. It's so much. So much. And then this is also us, like whenever it comes down to it, this is why we create all these phrases and shit. There's the devil in the details. So this will be like you having a sense of understanding of yourself in terms of, that's all it's explaining. But we just come up with all these different words and phrases in terms of us being able to explain ourselves. So literally every word explains ourselves. Water. You can sit back and break down how we are water, how water is used in terms of our feelings and emotions, how whenever our feelings and emotions flow a certain different type of way, we'll experience certain things. And this is also how we come up with the astrological transits as well. And then this is also how we tap into energy in terms of us being able to assimilate and use ourselves, our cell, as a computer, which is what is made, a computer is made of. The mainframe of the computer, I forget what the little thing is, the motherboard, which is also a just larger cell, which is a larger piece of ourselves. So we are already assimilated within technology in a certain type of way, which is us entering in the matrix. As what I said, we're in AP class, so you got to understand yourself in order for you to understand all these concepts in terms of us actually technology being replicated of us. And then once you understand that, then you'll be able to actually build a supercomputer, which can be yourself building yourself up. You can see yourself as a supercomputer, or either you could build an actual supercomputer just based upon you being able to understand yourself. And then once you are able to understand that concept, and then once you also have the commitment of that, then this is where we come across having certain, titles and shit like that, and engineers and shit like that, because they have access their higher selves, which is themselves, and now they're able to accomplish whatever. So this is how we have mathematical geniuses, which are just life geniuses. But by them sitting back and, committing themselves to that level of genius in terms of them utilizing themselves to learn a certain concept, boom, you can become anything. And this is where you get to learn that the possibilities are endless in terms of your level of thinking and awareness. So, helping you guys to learn all concepts of school and education starts back to yourself. Helping y'all to learn it. And then once you learn it, you can't unlearn it. So it's like you'll always just be at that level in terms of genius type of thinking. And this is something, like I said, we build it within ourselves. We create within ourselves. So we build ourselves up to have this supercomputer type of mentality in terms of all possibilities, because just like a calculator, everything is possible. A calculator, we go to a calculator for all answers, not knowing that the calculator is us that we are going to in order for us to calculate and compute shit. But all we did was add numbers to everything, which is also us adding a sense of awareness and being able to understand and shit. So, whenever it comes down to these concepts of the world being sacred gematria and like numerology and shit like that, it's helping you to understand yourself. What else? I don't know. That's pretty much it. Like, that's pretty much it. It's super simple. So, once you tap into this ability, it's like you'll be able to realize that, like I said, we come in many different forms in terms of reincarnating. And it's like, Once you tap into that ability, you'll be able to see yourself in others and how you were able to become super genius, or how you were able to become a super chef, or whatever. And in that aspect, then you'll be able to achieve whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life. So this is actually you manifesting thoughts. And this is how you give birth to a thought or a way of thinking. And by you giving birth to a thought or a way of thinking, this is how you help others to give birth to a thought or a way of thinking, which is you helping them to elevate themselves in terms of reaching their higher self, in terms of their way of thinking and credibility and being comfortable within themselves. So that way they are capable of feeling like they are able to accomplish anything within this realm of reality without having the need of some system of education, or before they get into a system of education, because that is needed as well. So this is how we came up with these concepts in terms of structuring ourselves. So before an individual gets to that system of education, this is helping them to reach that level of potential before they hop into school. So this is what we have to do whenever it comes to like our younger children. So that way they're already educated in a sense in terms of being these supercomputers and achieving whatever. And despite whatever it is that they choose to do in life, they'll still feel this sense of accomplishment, regardless of what choice or path they take. Once an individual reaches that, then we as parents just have to help guide their young minds in terms of seeing where their creativity lies, and then being able to provide them with the material so that way they can expand in terms of that level of creativity. And then once you keep on, like the cycle of life, once you keep on sitting back giving an individual those creative means, this individual will expand in terms of their way of thinking, and they'll be able to provide you with newer ways of thinking and newer ways of concepts of going about things and doing things within your life. And then even as being an older individual, you'll be able to learn from a younger individual, because that younger spirit is watching you as an older spirit in terms of your actions and the things that you do. So this is how we are able to learn from, our younger selves, or see ourselves within younger individuals. And this is how we're able to learn from the newer generation and then take from the older generation. And it's all about how you apply these concepts in terms of, you being a successful individual. So, yeah. And sometimes these concepts take time. So the quicker that we're able to learn them, in terms of our kids growing up and, having this sense of self and information, and also, going back to being aware of themselves, so that way they're not running into a form of confusion within their life with whatever it is that they do, whether it be them not knowing how to, or feeling like they can't achieve something, or feeling like they can't do something. This takes away that I can't aspect and help them to be more in terms of able to say I can, or I will achieve, or I will do this, or I can do that. So yeah. And once you get to that point for a child's thinking, then like I said, you just got to keep nourishing their mind, so that way they could just keep on growing and expanding. And yeah. And then you just sit back and just watch your little ones, and you'll learn from them, and they'll grow and learn from you. And this is how we get into the cycle of life, and we start to realize that we are the tree of life as we get older. As our trees get older, as our level of awareness gets older, which is us taking in more nourishment in terms of our roots, in terms of our thinking and shit like that. We'll be able to branch out even more and broaden our perspective on things, and then also be able to see, like I said, be able to look at things with a broader perspective in terms of other individuals. And yeah. So it's like you could sit back and look at anything and freaking break it down in terms of like terminology and just everything, and put all types of meanings and shit like that. That's why I'm like, we have to take away from the words and understand ourselves, so that way whenever words are used, we're not sitting back within our lower selves, which would be within our lower chakras, which would be within our way of thinking. And this is where we'll sit back and be taking all types of hits and all types of frustration, because like, say for instance, like I said, whenever we look at comedy and shit like that, take things very personal in that aspect, instead of just looking at the fact of this is an energy that we could connect with. So once you just don't take shit personal and just understand, you know, everyone's perspective and view, and this is where we get the concept of putting yourself within someone else's shoes. Um, yeah, we won't see things as putting so much meaning behind it whenever it comes to attaching all these words and titles and verbiage to it. So we could take random ass words, and this is how you end up becoming, like I said, a rap artist, a poetry. I was about to say a poetress. This is how you become a poetress. Such shit, fucking new words. It's how you a rap artist, poetress. You know, shit like that. Fuck it, we just gonna combine it, okay? Poetress. I guess that's me. I'm a goddamn poetress, okay? So you could take a word like internet, and then you could connect it and be like internal, network, with internally getting to know others, internally getting to know ourselves. Also internet going with computer. The more that we network within ourselves and getting to know our internal selves and everything in terms of ourselves, how it works, in terms of how we work. This is how we actually get the concept of internet and understanding how we are the internet, and then also putting in a mechanical type of frame and scientifical type of shit and adding all types of stuff into it and actually building an actual internet for us all to be able to network and communicate. And I was about to say communinet. I'm combining all types of words together. Shit. I'm making all types of new fucking words and verbiage right now. This is how we communicate, okay? And come together. So with that, we're like a community. So okay, we all get trapped in each other's net, each other's webs, each other's way and gift and thinking and awareness, okay, and community, okay, in terms of us taking each other's ideas and spreading it and raising our level of awareness. And now we got a goddamn community, okay. All right. And then we also can understand how we get communists and how we get all types of understandings of verbiage and words whenever it comes to just government, and then breaking it down to the simplest thing in the terms of us being able to understand water or air and these concepts. And then once you understand that, you'll be able to manifest, like I said, once we put these thoughts together in terms of our thinking and our possibilities being endless, this is where you're able to actually give birth to the partner that you want in life or should have in life, or whatever the case is. So based upon your way of thinking and that all of that put together as a collective, this is how you could actually in a sense use that energy to manifest whatever it is that you want and give birth to what we would consider our twin flame, which is just ourselves. And with us working with everything in such a divine type of way, in terms of us knowing ourself, we give birth to ourself. So this will be situations to where, like I said, based on our level of awareness, you have to know where you are, because you'll give birth to your actual partner, all right, within your way of thinking. And this is where we run into twin flames and karmics, and trying to understand, you know, what it is that we're seeing whenever we do run into these individuals. Is that a twin flame or is that a karmic? Based upon our space, our level of awareness, what it is that we're doing, how we're interacting with our environment. And then this is how you, like I said, we end up in frustrating situations. You end up laying down with yourself. So this is how man is the image of woman, woman being an image of man, and shit like that, and going all the way back to the starting point. And so whenever we enrich our minds with all of this knowledge that we get from others and our level of awareness, and then just from the earth and the universe, and go out and, you know, ground ourselves in all of this, this is where we're able to come up and be able to use our supercomputer type abilities. So yeah. And being able to connect with our guides, which is ourselves, which is our higher self, which is our angels and demons, and connecting with all types of spirit guides. And whenever you call on certain spirit guides, you will enter into different dimensions and realms of reality, and being able to provide others with a sense of healing. Like I said, being able to achieve shaman type level characteristics and all of that. So you'll be able to understand how whenever you're in a sense of help, you're calling on your higher self, which is like your God-like mentality in terms of your thinking and awareness, to provide you with more thoughts and actions as to how to move forward. So this is how we end up becoming gods within ourselves, and this is where we come up with this such a confusing concept in terms of trying to understand and having religions and understanding God in itself, and trying to come up with an imagery for it and everything, and it gets super super confusing because we're trying to understand ourselves, um, and then trying to figure out the right starting point in terms of how we got here and everything else, and birthing this earth and all types of concepts, which just ends up becoming very overwhelming whenever you use your computer brain for all of that. So, next thing you know, you just be like, oh shit. But this is how you astral travel and reach all types of dimensions, and being able to calculate in terms of next moves, your prior moves, learning your south node, north node type energy, and then actually being able to give birth to your south node or your north node, or your balancement in terms of partnerships and level of awareness. So this is why we will connect with certain individuals whenever it comes to us being on the internet and on social media. All right, so that's the lesson for today. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I will be uploading you guys the zodiac signs, and understand that we are understanding energy. So whenever I upload these zodiacs, this is helping you guys to understand the energy within yourself in terms of some different energies that you might go through on a daily, or other people you might see going through experiencing. So everything. So once you understand that, then you'll be able to truly understand the astrology and the tarot card readings, and how you can give birth and manifest certain ideas and certain frustrations and things like that, and how you could be in certain energies and shit. All right, so, and this is how you have to try and take in mind that whenever we deliver certain information, not everything is going to be relatable to your circumstance and your situation and level of awareness. So this is why I'll be like, yeah, you could look into a zodiac reading for your exact zodiac, but then a different zodiac reading might cater to the energy that you're in. So this is how our astrology can be all over the place. And this is how you end up manifesting partners that have, your south node or north node energy and shit like that. And being able to realize that, yeah, that might have been the energy or level of awareness that you were in at one point in your life, or one state in life. And this is how we end up calling upon our gods, higher selves, our gods, our creators, which is ourself again, and creating new states of minds and awarenesses and functionalities within our life and realms of reality. All right, so anyways, peace out.